Okay, let me hold. Fantastic.
That was Trump putting a medal on himself. It was awarded to him by FIFA as a consolation prize after he did not win the Nobel. But you might be wondering, why would FIFA, of all organizations, feel the need to step in and create a whole other peace prize in order to appease our toddler of a president? Well, Trump has been in cahoots with FIFA for a while, specifically with its president, Gianni Infantino. Trump was on stage with the winners of last year's World Cup for reasons that no one really understood. He was even gifted a World Cup trophy by Infantino for having done absolutely nothing himself. But here's more from the New York Times.
In May, during Trump's Persian Gulf trip, he did encourage the leaders of businesses and major donors and allies to join him in the Middle East. Gianni Infantino was by his side, and they met together with the Emir of Qatar as they transitioned the World Cup from one host site to another. In October, President Trump was taking a major victory lap in Egypt where they were celebrating a peace deal between Israel and Hamas. Gianni Infantino was the only non-head of state at this peace summit, as unusual as that is. Since he started his second term, President Trump has been openly campaigning for a Nobel Peace Prize. When the Nobel Committee did not award it to Donald Trump, FIFA took the highly unusual step of announcing that they would award a peace prize this year. FIFA has never before awarded a peace prize. It's clear it's to ingratiate the league further to President Trump. This is how Donald Trump operates. And world leaders, whether you're the head of a country or a business, have all gotten the message that if you want to stay on President Trump's good side, you have to flatter, you have to appease. And there's no greater example of that playbook than Infantino.
The World Cup will be hosted in 16 cities across the US, Mexico, and Canada, including Houston, where I am. But while 11 US cities prepare for what was once promised to be a boom in tourism, the numbers are not looking good, with international travelers less than willing or eager to visit our country these days. FIFA has been canceling thousands of reserved hotel rooms in the host cities. They're just not filling up the way they thought they would. This means that the cities aren't likely to earn as much money from hosting as they were hoping to, which means that small businesses aren't likely to profit much either. And what's funny is that last year there was a slump in US tourism brought on by the Trump administration, but motivated specifically by Trump's tariffs against practically every country on the planet and the unrest in American cities due to the presence of ICE agents and protesters. The United States right now is perceived to be very anti-immigrant, and if I was a tourist from abroad, I wouldn't trust an already hateful American to take the time to distinguish between a tourist and an immigrant. It's not a very welcoming environment for international visitors right now, or at least I could see how that would be the perception abroad. Bringing the World Cup to the United States was supposed to bring tourism back to this country, but seriously, that was their plan. This is the same year that Trump decided to start a war with Iran on behalf of Israel that has negatively impacted, again, practically every country on the planet. But FIFA was supposed to endear us to the world, apparently. Trump doesn't care about us or our local economies. If he did, he would actually do something to improve them, not actively make them worse by driving inflation up with his policies. But that aside, no, FIFA is not enough to bring tourists back to our country. And that's a bummer because FIFA had projected that hosting would bring $30.5 billion into the US economy. Now that could help make up for a few weeks of Trump's war with Iran, but alas, the projections did not project accurately. So now hotels in the host cities are cutting room rates for the World Cup because the demand for these rooms isn't where it was expected to be, and FIFA is canceling tens of thousands of rooms they had reserved across the host cities. And according to Lior Sekler, the chief commercial officer at HRI Hospitality, Obviously, people's desire to come to the United States right now is down, and he pointed to the unrest caused by Trump's war on Iran and his hardline immigration crackdown. Another industry insider called out the Iran war more directly as something that certainly is not helping our tourism issue. In fact, things are so bad that FIFA reportedly wants Trump to pause his ICE raids during the games, but at this point, it seems as though the damage is done.